Hello guys, what is up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will be talking about the Toronto Raptors and all of the prospects they have either worked out or interviewed. So due to COVID restrictions, the NBA has told teams that they are only allowed to work out about 10 players. The Raptors have worked out 4 players and have interviewed many more, and we'll talk about them today. On our list is Theo Malcolm. So he just worked out with the Toronto Raptors. He is 19 years old and he's a point guard, which is a bonus because with Fred VanVleet being a free agent and Terrence Davis, the whole situation there, they could use a point guard right now. He is very big. He is height-wise, he's 6'5". He's a little bit underweight for his size. He's good at getting to the rim. He's a good passer. He attacks the rim very aggressively. And although his shooting percentage is 36.7, he's not a great three-point shooter. That is something he can work on. Another knock on him is physically he's not as strong as he should be, and his defense is lacking. Next player on our list is Tyler Bay, who has also worked out with the Toronto Raptors. So he is 22 years old. He's older than most draft prospects, but we know the Raptors like to draft older prospects. He is tall. He is 6'7", 218 pounds. He got about 9 rebounds, which is huge because he is a very good defensive player. He's versatile. He can switch. He'll get you a lot of blocks and steals. His 3-point percentage, although it says 41.9, he's not a great 3-point shooter. He did only take about 1 3 a game last season. That is something he does need to work on, though. Offensively, his game needs a lot of work. But if the Raptors do choose him, we know the Raptors are good at drafting players and developing them. So that is something we'll have to wait and see. Next player on our list is Devin Dotson. He's a 21-year-old point guard. He does play guard, so we could possibly, if we do draft him, put him with Kyle Lowry on the court for a bit and then have him come off the bench. Again, because of his age, he is a bit more mature and he can contribute right away. He did score 18.1 points per game last season with Kansas. He'll get you a decent amount of rebounds for his size. He's a decent passer. He is not a very good three-point shooter, though. That is a knock on him. He's also kind of undersized for a point guard at only 185 pounds. He's not a great defensive player, but he is very quick. He is one of the fastest players in this draft, and that is something that intrigues the Toronto Raptors. Malachi Flynn. So the Raptors are really high on him. I've read reports lately saying they might draft him or they're potentially looking to draft him at the 29th spot. Malachi has seen his stock just go skyrocket lately. He was actually projected to go late in the first, possibly early second round. A lot of mock drafts have him going early 20s, mid 20s lately. So let's hope the Raptors do have a chance to draft him. He is 22 years old. He's a point guard, which is something the Raptors may look for. And he is 6'2", again, a little bit underweight. He did score efficiently, though he did get you 17.6 points per game with San Diego State in his last season. He's a great passer. He's great at getting to the rim. He's also a great defensive player, which is always something the Toronto Raptors are looking for. And he can shoot lights out. He was shooting 38.7% from the three. List is Tyrel Terry. So the Raptors have interviewed Tyrel Terry. He is an intriguing prospect because of the style he plays and his age. He's only 20 years old. He does play point guard. He is 6'3", which is a decent height. He is, again, very underweight. He's only about 170 pounds. He did score about 14.6 points per game in his last season. And he's not a very good passer. He is a great three-point shooter, though. His style of play has been compared to Steph Curry and Trae Young. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to become that player. He does play similar style, though. He's good on catch and shoot. He's a good three-point shooter. Again, the knock on him is physically he's not as tough. Defensively, he needs to work on his game. But if the Raptors do decide to draft him, that is something they'll have to consider. interview. His name is Isaiah Joe. He's 21 years old. He is a guard. He's got really good height. He's 6'5" which the Raptors could use in their backcourt. He's 180 pounds again, a little bit light. He did score 16.9 points per game. He is actually a really good three-point shooter. His 34.2 percentage there does not show it because he had an injury in the last season, and before that he was just lights out. He's a great three-point shooter. Many people have said he's one of the best shooters in this year's draft. So if the Raptors do draft him, again, his defense needs a little bit of work, but they'll be getting a really good three-point shooter with in Isaiah Joe. Raptors have interviewed is Jalen Smith. He's 20 years old. He's a power forward. He's got really good size. He's 6'10", 225 pounds. He's a great rebounder. He averaged 10.5 rebounds last season, 15.5 points per game, which is pretty decent for a big man. He's a good shot blocker. He averaged 2.4 blocks a game. He's a pretty good three-point shooter for a big man. He did shoot 36.8% from the three-point line. There's not really a knock on Jalen, as he is a pretty good overall player. The only problem is he is projected to go top 15, top 20, and Raptors, as we know, are drafting on the 29th spot. But we never know with Masai Ujiri. He always has tricks up his sleeve. He may try to trade up to get a higher pick in this year's draft to potentially take Jalen. That's just something we'll have to wait and see. Raptors have interviewed is Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane is a big guy for a guard. He is 6'6", 215 pounds. So that is someone the Raptors could definitely use in the backcourt. He did score about 16.6 points per game. He's a decent rebounder. He's 6.4 rebounds per game. He's an amazing three-point shooter. If you have seen his highlights, you would see he's a great catch and shoot. He averaged 44% from the three-point line in his last season. And he is just amazing shooting threes. The knock on him is he's not a great defensive player. He does need to work on his defensive game, and then also he's not great at attacking the rim. So that is something that he'll have to work on once he gets drafted. Zeke Naji. He is only 19 years old. Zeke is a very intriguing big man because he has amazing size. He's 6'11", 240 pounds. He could add a little bit of more muscle on there. He's a good rebounder, 8.6 rebounds a game, 16.1 points per game. His field goal percentage was amazing. He's 57. He's not a good three-point shooter. He does have a decent mid-range game. I think that's something he can work on. He has acknowledged that his shooting isn't the greatest, but that is something he's working on, and Raptors could always develop him as they did with Pascal, and make him a better shooter. He does fit the Raptor style of play, though. He likes to play fast. And we know the Raptors like to play in transitions, and he would actually fit in there perfectly. He's a great hustler. He hustles after those rebounds. He gets them, but he's not a great defensive player, and he's not really a shot blocker. So that's the cons about Zeke Naji. Is Xavier Tillman. So this is someone the Raptors have interviewed. They were actually one of the first teams to interview Xavier. He is 21 years old. He's a power forward, can play center. His size is a knock, though. He's only 6'8", 245 pounds, but he is good. He can guard much bigger players. He's a good rebounder. As you can see, he averaged 10.3 rebounds a game, 13.7 points per game. His offensive game needs a little bit of work. He's not a great three-point shooter. He's not a great shooter overall. He is one of the better passers for big men in this draft, though, and he is a great defensive player, which is something the Raptors always look for. So I personally think he would be a perfect fit for the Toronto Raptors just because he's a great defensive player. He can pass so much like Marc Gasol. So we know Marc Gasol is most likely gone. Serge Ibaka is getting a lot of interest from different teams around the league. So we'll see with what's going on and how the Raptors do draft her. And of course, that depends a lot on Fred VanVleet and Serge Ibaka. But I think Xavier Tillman would be an excellent choice for the Toronto Raptors at the 29th spot. All right, guys, this is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm just starting my YouTube channel, so please like, comment, subscribe, help this channel grow. And thank you so much once again for watching.